BLACKPINK conquered the world faster than any K-pop group before them, but their glittering success masks a story YG Entertainment never wanted you to discover. While millions worship them as untouchable queens, the truth behind their rise involves psychological manipulation, calculated starvation of content, and a system designed to break them before it built them up. Before they were BLACKPINK, they were prisoners in what trainees call the YG dungeon. Most people know the girls trained for years, but what actually happened during those 4 to 6 years remains carefully hidden. Jennie entered YG at just 14, moving from New Zealand to Seoul alone. Lisa left Thailand at 13, unable to speak Korean, surviving on 1 meal a day. The company didn't just train them. Former trainees exposed the brutal reality. Monthly evaluations where one mistake meant elimination. Practice until 3 a.m., school at 7 a.m., surviving on 4 hours of sleep. Weekly weight checks. Gaining 1 kilogram triggered punishment schedules with extra practice and reduced meals. Rosé revealed she cried every single day for the first year. But here's what nobody discusses: the psychological warfare. YG deliberately pitted trainees against each other, constantly changing debut lineups to create insecurity. Original BLACKPINK was supposed to be 9 members. Miyeon, now an idol, trained with them for 5 years before being removed months before debut. The survivors carry that guilt. The most sinister part was mental conditioning. Cameras in practice rooms, dorms, hallways, every moment monitored, every conversation potentially reported. Members learned to never show weakness, never complain, never question authority. This wasn't training, it was indoctrination. Once BLACKPINK debuted in 2016, fans expected regular comebacks. Instead, YG weaponized scarcity. While competitors released multiple albums yearly, BLACKPINK got 1 single per year, if lucky. This wasn't incompetence. Internal documents revealed YG's strategy: limit releases to maximize demand, making each comeback an event.
BLACKPINK in your area.
Think about this. In 8 years, BLACKPINK released around 30 songs total. BTS released that many in 1 year. This starvation worked financially, but destroyed members psychologically. Rosé admitted feeling like a fraud calling herself a musician. Jennie faced lazy accusations when really she battled the futility of training for songs that never came. YG restricted everything. Variety shows, fan meetings, even Instagram posts needed approval. Until 2021. This manufactured mystique made them untouchable, but left them isolated. While other idols freely communicated with fans, BLACKPINK lived in enforced silence. A former YG executive admitted the company preferred fan frustration over satisfaction. Angry fans trend hashtags, demand content, spend desperately when anything releases. Happy fans become complacent. BLACKPINK's suffering was literally profitable. The control extended into their personal lives with suffocating intensity. Dating bans enforced through surveillance. Phones regularly checked. Movements tracked through managers. When Jennie's dating news broke, she faced weeks of reflection, essentially solitary confinement from group activities. Weight monitoring went beyond industry standards. Daily weigh-ins sent directly to management. Gaining 0.5 kilograms meant immediate diet restrictions. Lisa survived on sweet potatoes for weeks. Rosé's extreme thinness wasn't fashion. It was survival under impossible standards. But the cruelest control was financial. Despite generating hundreds of millions, members saw fractions until recently. The contracts basically made leaving impossible. They needed permission to visit family. Jisoo couldn't attend her brother's wedding without negotiating for weeks. All 4 members have discussed anxiety and depression, though carefully without naming YG. Jennie's panic attacks required medication to perform. Lisa developed stress-induced insomnia, going 72 hours without sleep. These weren't tired idols. They were young women being systematically broken. Everything changed when their contracts approached expiration in 2023. Suddenly, YG needed them more than they needed YG. The power dynamic shifted overnight, and the cracks became visible. The 2023 negotiations exposed everything. When contracts expired, all four immediately made solo moves. Jennie, Lisa, and Jisoo established personal companies. Rosé signed with the Black Label, a YG subsidiary, suggesting divided loyalties. They renewed as a group, but not individuals. BLACKPINK became obligation, not choice. Industry insiders revealed brutal negotiations. YG allegedly threatened preventing them from using the BLACKPINK name or performing their songs without renewal. The members were held hostage by their own success. The renewed contracts were reportedly only 2 years with specific appearance requirements. More settlement than celebration. The rushed 2025 World Tour announcement reeked of desperation. No new album, no preparation photos, just sudden dates that surprised even members. Lisa was in Paris days before rehearsals should have started. Jennie was in Los Angeles on solo projects. This wasn't planned reunion, it was contractual obligation. Leaked staff messages suggested the tour was YG's attempt to milk final profits before the inevitable end. Ticket prices increased 300% from their last tour. VIP packages cost more than monthly salaries. They're not celebrating BLACKPINK. They're exploiting fan desperation one last time. But there's something darker that happened during those years. The deliberate creation of internal competition. Jennie, labeled YG's Princess, received her solo in 2018, while others waited years. She got designer outfits, while members wore recycled costumes. Data analysis proved she averaged 40% more screen time than Lisa or Jisoo. The company created these imbalances to foster competition. Rosé's solo received minimal promotion compared to Jennie's. Lisa's record-breaking solo was abandoned after 2 weeks. Jisoo waited 7 years for her chance. Each member's success was sabotaged to prevent anyone becoming bigger than the group. Behind smiling selfies, tensions reached breaking points. During 2019 Coachella preparation, witnesses reported screaming matches. Rosé and Lisa reportedly didn't speak for weeks after performance disagreements. Former staff revealed separate waiting rooms were required because tensions became unbearable. Members arrived separately, rehearsed individually, only together for actual performances. Here's what BLACKPINK really became. Luxury brand ambassadors who occasionally release music. Jennie is Chanel in human form. Lisa's identity merged with Celine. YG discovered Fashion Week generated more revenue than 6 months of music promotion. So they pivoted, turning BLACKPINK into walking billboards. Music became secondary to modeling. Performances became runway shows. Rosé's comment about feeling like a model who sometimes sings wasn't a joke. It was a cry for help everyone missed. They trained as musicians, but became mannequins. Internal emails revealed YG tracked fashion engagement more than music metrics. Fashion Week became mandatory, while recording sessions were optional. When Jennie wanted to write music, she was sent to Paris Fashion Week. When Lisa proposed choreography, she was booked for another campaign. Members were contractually obligated to wear sponsor brands even in candid photos. Personal style was scripted. Dating rumors evaluated for brand impact. They weren't people, they were products, optimized for commercial extraction. As we watch BLACKPINK's 2025 tour unfold, we're not witnessing reunion. We're watching farewell, disguised as celebration. Solo companies established, separate management, individual projects competing with group activities. They're fulfilling contracts, not following dreams. The saddest part isn't that BLACKPINK might end, it's that it ended years ago. What remains is 4 talented women trapped in a brand they've outgrown, performing songs that no longer represent who they've become. They smile for cameras while counting days until freedom, but perhaps ending is their only path to genuine happiness. Maybe disbanding isn't failure, but liberation from a system that consumed their youth, exploited their talent, and commodified their existence. The truth about BLACKPINK isn't just about one group. It's about an industry that devours youth and packages trauma as entertainment. What happens next defines not just BLACKPINK's legacy, but K-pop's future. Will other groups learn from their suffering? Will companies change? Or will the cycle continue, creating new generations of broken stars behind perfect facades? If this changed how you see BLACKPINK, hit that like button and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the stories the K-pop industry doesn't want you to know. Do you think this is really their last tour together? Let me know below. See you in the next one.